Let's get right into it. Number 5, the frequency problem. Picture this. You're sitting in a group conversation where everyone is passionately debating the best flavor of potato chips, and you, unfortunately cursed with too many brain cells, blurt out, if you think about it, this is actually a great metaphor for late-stage capitalism. Suddenly, silence. Everyone stares at you like you've just quoted Karl Marx at a kid's birthday party. Congratulations, you've just experienced what I call the frequency problem. Smart people often think on a frequency that others can't easily tune into. It's like your brain is broadcasting on some obscure FM station while the rest of the world is stuck on top 40 hits. You're vibing with niche thought experiments, existential dread, or weird connections between pineapple pizza and social hierarchies, while everyone else just wants to argue about which Kardashian is the funniest. Psychologists call this intellectual mismatch, which sounds like a bad Tinder date for your neurons. Basically, the smarter you are, the more likely you'll feel like nobody quite gets the way your mind leaps from A to Z without bothering with the rest of the alphabet. And that gap between your inner world and their outer world, it breeds loneliness. The irony? You could be in a crowded room full of people, but if nobody laughs at your joke about Schrodinger's cat being both alive and a better pet than their actual cat, you'll still feel like the odd one out. It's not that you're unlikable, it's that your brain insists on turning small talk into a TED Talk. So yeah, if you're a human broadcasting tower stuck on Deep Thoughts FM, don't be surprised if the only one tuning in is, well, yourself. Number 4, depth over breadth. Imagine you're at a party. There's music, drinks, people laughing. Someone walks up and says, "So, how's work?" A normal human would say, "Good," smile, and then pivot to gossip about who's dating who. But not you. No, your brain decides this is the perfect time to launch into a 20-minute dissertation on the ethical implications of AI replacing baristas. Cue the other person's polite smile, slowly morphing into the universal, "please rescue me" face. Smart people often crave depth in their relationships, not breadth. They don't want 100 surface-level acquaintances who know their favorite Netflix show. They want 2 or 3 ride-or-die friends who will debate philosophy at 2 a.m. and cry with them over the meaning of a cloud. And because not everyone has the patience or caffeine tolerance for this level of intensity, the smart person's circle tends to shrink. A lot. From a psychology perspective, this links to need for cognition, which basically means your brain enjoys chewing on complex ideas the way toddlers enjoy chewing on crayons. The downside? Small talk feels like mental starvation. Sure, discussing the weather fills the silence, but your mind is screaming, "This could have been a Socratic dialogue." The tragic comedy here is that while everyone else is happily skipping across puddles of shallow conversation, you're standing at the edge of a Mariana Trench of thoughts, waving and wondering why nobody wants to dive in with you. Spoiler, most people left their Scooby gear at home. So yes, depth over breadth makes your connections richer, but it also makes them rarer. You're basically collecting limited edition friendships that take forever to find. And meanwhile, you're stuck sipping your drink alone in the corner while someone across the room is passionately explaining why pineapple on pizza is a crime against humanity. Number 3, the overanalysis spiral. You know that moment when someone texts you K instead of OK? A regular person shrugs and moves on. But your brain? Oh no. Your brain throws a 3-act Broadway show about it. Act 1, did I do something wrong? Act 2, are they mad at me? Act 3, maybe this is the beginning of the end of our friendship and I should start writing a memoir called Ghosted by the Letter K. This is what happens when your mind is basically an over-caffeinated detective with no cases to solve. Highly intelligent people tend to overanalyze everything. Social cues, facial expressions, that one weird pause in the conversation when your friend sneezed. It's not because they're paranoid, it's because their brains are like high-speed Wi-Fi hooked up to a toaster. They'll find patterns in absolutely everything, even where none exist. Psychologists link this to rumination, which is just a fancy word for your brain won't shut up. And while this constant mental commentary can make you excellent at predicting plot twists in Netflix shows, it's not exactly great for social life. Because while everyone else is chilling, you're busy dissecting why your neighbor said good morning with slightly less enthusiasm than yesterday. The irony? The smarter you are, the less spontaneous you feel. Instead of joining the karaoke, you're analyzing the psychology of why karaoke exists at all. Instead of laughing at a joke, you're mentally rewriting it for better comedic timing. And the end result? You spend so much time in your own head, the party ends without you ever fully showing up. So if you're wondering why smart people often feel lonely, here's your answer. It's hard to connect with others when you're too busy holding an internal TED Talk about whether their body language means they secretly hate you.
Number 2, the alien perspective. Imagine living in a world where everyone seems to understand each other's jokes, references, and hobbies. But when you chime in, people tilt their heads like you just quoted Shakespeare at a TikTok convention. That's what it feels like to have a brain that sees the world differently. You're not broken, you're just playing a different game. Smart people often carry unique, even bizarre perspectives that make them feel like outsiders. While others see just a tree, you see a living organism conducting photosynthesis and wonder whether it's silently judging you for not recycling. While others gossip about celebrities, you're the one going, actually, this tells us something about collective parasocial attachment and dopamine reward cycles. Cue the blank stares. This mismatch can create a profound sense of alienation. It's not that others dislike you, it's that they literally don't know what to do with your thought process. And let's be honest, it's not exactly easy to find someone who wants to discuss the philosophy of free will over nachos. The psychology behind this? It's partly about divergent thinking, which is a hallmark in intelligence and creativity. Your brain just insists on zigzagging where others walk straight lines. The problem is, zigzags don't always fit into dinner conversation. And here's the kicker. Being the alien perspective can be both a gift and a curse. On one hand, you're the one who invents cool stuff, solves impossible problems, and points out the plot holes in Marvel movies. On the other hand, you're also the one sitting alone at the metaphorical lunch table because nobody else wanted to talk about quantum physics before dessert. So yeah, intelligence can feel like a VIP ticket, except the event is happening on another planet.
Number 1. Solitude by default. Here's the final kicker. Even when you could go out, mingle, and pretend to enjoy another round of "so what do you do for work" conversations, your brain often hits the eject button. Why? Because solitude is easier. It's not that you don't like people, it's that people require effort. And when your head is already a 24/7 think tank producing hot takes on the universe, sometimes the quiet of your own company feels like the least exhausting option. Psychologists sometimes frame this as self-sufficiency in cognition. Translation, your brain entertains itself so well that the outside world feels optional. You don't need a crowd when you can spend an entire evening debating yourself about whether time is real or if we're all just Sims characters who forgot the cheat code. The side effect, though, is that loneliness can sneak up on you. You start telling yourself, "I prefer being alone," but then realize you've had the same conversation with your ceiling fan 3 nights in a row. And sure, the fan doesn't judge you, but it also doesn't laugh at your clever jokes about Nietzsche. Ironically, smart people can fall into a paradox. Solitude keeps them sane, but too much solitude makes them crave connection, which then feels exhausting. It's like ordering a salad because you want to be healthy and then crying because the salad isn't pizza. So if you've ever wondered why smart people often feel lonelier, it boils down to this. Their minds are so full, so loud, so relentless, that being alone feels safe.
even if deep down they still wish someone else could keep up with the conversation. And hey, maybe that's the secret takeaway. It's not that smart people can't connect, it's just that their connections need to be rare, deep, and worth the brain power. Like finding someone who not only laughs at your Schrodinger's cat joke, but also adds a punchline. That's when loneliness fades. That's it for today. I will make more similar videos in the future. Please subscribe to stay tuned.